Snow showers and flurries on the move toward Kentucky tonight. That's not the only thing I'm tracking. Possibility of a winter storm to impact your Super Bowl Sunday just ahead.
He said, "Daddy," and then starts screaming.
Hear from a Kentucky doctor who says a kidnapping scam targeted him.
WKYT investigates why are some 911 calls in Lexington going unanswered for nearly a minute.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
And good evening. You probably noticed it when you stepped outside today. Strong winds have been blowing across the bluegrass.
Yeah, and those winds are bringing in some wintry changes in our weather. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He is tracking our chances for snow. How about it, Chris?
Yeah, a couple of chances. First one starting to show up later this evening into tonight and early Friday. That's a very minor event, but it just takes a little bit to cause some slick spots out there for a morning commute. The next one really getting my attention for later this weekend. Concentrate on what's going on right now, what's ahead of us in the short term. Live First Alert Defender late on your Thursday afternoon, heading into the early evening now, showing that healthy temperature gradient now beginning to narrow a little bit. 35 Covington into the upper 30s across bluegrass country, down into the upper 40s to around 50 into southern Kentucky. And Defender is picking up on now a little touch of some light rain and light snow shower action starting to develop into far northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern parts of Ohio. Lots of clouds out there. Cold front number 2 that will dive in here later on tonight will unleash a little band of some lake effect snows that will travel all the way into central and especially eastern Kentucky. So those snow showers that do develop tonight will give us the chance to pick up on some light accumulations in time for the trip into work and school tomorrow morning. That's the first headline that we're tracking with the slick road potential early tomorrow. But guys, the bigger system comes our way late this weekend. Possibility of a winter storm impacting most of the bluegrass state in time for Super Bowl Sunday. I will break down the risk factor when I come back in about 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. Rain turned some eastern Kentucky roads icy this morning. In Wolfe County, police say dozens of cars slid off ice-covered roads, and we received some eyewitness video of a man trying to walk across an ice-covered road. The man who shot that video says he had to pull over to keep from sliding off the road.
You couldn't tell that it was ice. It was really odd. I'd never seen that before. It just looked like regular blacktop. And you're going up the hill, and the next thing you know, your back end was sliding sideways.
Police say by the time roads started to freeze this morning, school buses were already off the roads. Wolfe County roads were in much better shape by this afternoon. Tonight, we have an update on a frightening scam. Police say people have been calling doctors claiming to have kidnapped their children and demanding a ransom.
And Lexington police had an alert about this scam yesterday, and since then we've received reports of it happening in other places of Kentucky. In our top story at 6, Sam Smith talks to a doctor who received a scam call.
Imagine being at work, getting a phone call, and the first thing you hear is,
He said, "Daddy," and then starts screaming.
That happened to Dr. Ed Gomez Tuesday afternoon. The radiologist at Rockcastle Regional Hospital said it sounded like his youngest daughter, and then he heard a male voice come through the phone.
Says, "I'm with the Mexican cartel. And if you do not do what I'm about to tell you to do, something bad's going to happen to your daughter. I'm going to kill her."
Dr. Gomez says the crying in the background stopped. Plus, he knew where his kids were, so he was convinced it wasn't real.
I just knew then that it was a scam, so I just said, "Kill her."
That call went through his hospital. The caller claimed to be a doctor from Lexington and asked to speak with Dr. Gomez. Now, that sequence of events did not just happen here. It also happened in Madison County.
It's not the first time we've had a scam call, but this is probably one of the more serious ones that we have had.
No money was exchanged in either case, but the thought of having a loved one taken captive was bad enough for Gomez.
I was able to figure out what it was within 10-15 seconds. But those 10-15 seconds will never leave me.
In Rockcastle County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
No arrests have been made so far. The FBI has been tracking this type of scam for years across the country.
A tense situation in Lexington this afternoon as police tried to serve a warrant on a wanted man. Police surrounded a building on North Limestone as they tried to arrest the man. They say he had gotten away once before and they wanted to make sure that he didn't again. Police blocked off entrances to the building and began searching it. They say they found the man hiding in a closet and arrested him.
A second person wanted in connection to a crime spree in Kentucky and Missouri has now been arrested. The FBI says the juvenile was arrested this afternoon in Hardin County. Investigators say that he and Robert Caldwell kidnapped someone in Kansas City and stole the victim's car. They say the car was later found crashed in Bardstown. Police arrested Caldwell in Lincoln County Tuesday after another kidnapping and vehicle theft. Police have arrested a man they say raped a 9-year-old girl, and the child's mother faces charges as well. Police have charged 44-year-old Manuel Gonzalez with rape and sexual abuse. They say he attacked the girl last week at his Bourbon County home. Investigators say the girl's mother knew what happened but didn't tell police or get the girl medical attention. She's been charged with endangering the welfare of a minor. And a man accused of killing another man in Lexington faced a judge this afternoon. Felix Rodriguez pled not guilty to murder. Police arrested him yesterday. Lexington police say that Rodriguez shot Alejandro Dominguez Hernandez Monday night inside a car along Johnston Road. According to court documents, Rodriguez admitted he killed the victim after luring him to the scene to buy cocaine.
In an emergency like a car crash or a heart attack, every second matters, and your first call for help is likely going to be to 911. But what if your call wasn't answered right away? For months, Mark Barber has been looking into why it's taking longer for Lexington dispatchers to answer 911 calls. In this WKYT investigation, he found the city is spending a lot of taxpayer money to keep up with a huge increase in calls.
911, where's your emergency?
It could be the most important call you ever make.
The first thing I think of is let the caller know that they're going to be helped, they're going to be assisted.
But our investigation into Lexington's 911 center found it took longer for callers to get help in 2014 than it did from 2010 to 2013. In those 4 years, 911 records show not one emergency call went unanswered for more than 50 seconds. But last year, that changed drastically. Call center documents obtained by WKYT show 42 911 calls rang between 51 and 60 seconds before they were answered.
Certainly there's concerns anytime a call takes more than, say, 10 seconds. We have a concern.
911 Director Robert Stack says while it is concerning, the 24 call takers in the 911 center are answering 95% of calls within 20 seconds, which is within national standards.
Do you need police, fire, ambulance?
For years, 911 calls were transferred to a secondary call center at the fire department if they rang more than 30 seconds. To be more efficient, this summer, the city started waiting 60 seconds to transfer unanswered calls. Stack thinks it's taking longer for call takers to answer emergency calls because people are changing the way they call 911.
What we are seeing is a phenomenon that all 911 centers around the country are seeing, and that is when the public sees an event in a crowded area, such as a major intersection here in Lexington, the mall, or someplace like that, everyone that has a phone, it seems like, it feels like they're picking up their phone and dialing 911. That causes us a surge of calls.
We saw it firsthand when a man started driving the wrong way on Interstate 64. Within minutes, the 911 lines were flooded with calls from concerned drivers.
What mile marker is the pickup truck at?
Call takers answered the first 8 to 10 calls, but then the other callers had to wait in line.
The phones are always busy. There's always a lot of 911 calls.
While the call center has always been busy, Stack says he never thought it would be hit this hard. According to call center data, there were over 210,000 911 calls in 2014. That's nearly a 10% increase, or 24,000 more calls than the center received over the past few years.
That's something that certainly was a surprise to all of us, and there's really no explanation for why calls went up 10%.
Not only is call volume up, 911 documents show abandoned calls skyrocketed 180% last year. Calls are classified as abandoned when the caller hangs up or accidentally calls 911. Call takers say those calls often take critical time away from true emergencies because they have to call back anyone who is disconnected or hangs up.
We spend time calling back pocket dials when there are people who are really in need of a 911 call.
So is that frustrating to you?
Very frustrating. because obviously you want to take the higher priority calls first.
We lose a lot of valuable time and resources for things that are not emergencies.
Trying to keep up with all the calls comes with a price.
You keep up with it by taking more of the taxpayer dollars.
According to documents from the city's budget office, temporary employees in the call center cost taxpayers more than $83,000 in 2014. Compare that to an average of $47,500 taxpayer dollars that were spent in 2011, 2012, and 2013.
Let me get the fire department on.
Stack says the temporary employees helped answer phones on busy days, while 3 new employees were still training.
911, where's your emergency?
Call takers say it's a race to keep up with every call, every minute of the day, because the clock is always ticking.
Seconds matter.
Call center and the fire call center will consolidate into a new call center that will be here on Cisco Road. The 911 center director says they will have more people on hand to answer calls, so he thinks the move will make the longer 911 wait times a problem of the past.
Well, Mark, all of these calls coming in, and it's not going to stop. How do people make sure that their call is going to be answered?
Well, Amber, when it comes to making sure your 911 call actually gets to the 911 center, Stack says that the most reliable way to get a hold of them is to use a landline. In a day where everybody has cell phones, that's harder and harder, so don't lose track of that. Now, if you are calling from a cell phone, Stack says you're hearing the phone ring over and over and over, you're wondering if anybody's going to answer, don't hang up. He says if you hang up and you call back, you could push back to the end of the line.
Wow.
Good advice.
Very busy, aren't they?
Very busy, very important.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Another road game. We're talking sports now for the undefeated UK basketball team tonight. The Cats are at Missouri looking for win number 20. Lee K. Howard is in Columbia, Missouri with a preview of tonight's game.
The talented freshmen at Kentucky are nothing new, but not many thought that this group of 4 would have this big of an impact that they have this season. Part of that is because of all the returners that were back from last year's team. But John Calipari says one of the reasons for that is all the pressure has been taken off of this group of guys.
They have great attitudes, all these freshmen, but they also have the veterans there that give them an opportunity to just go do your thing, don't worry about it. You know, they don't have that hanging on them like every shot you miss or make is life and death for us to win or lose.
The freshmen as a whole have been doing really great. They've come in and they've fit in like they've been here since we've been here. So the way they're playing is great, and I'm ecstatic about it.
Well, you can expect all 4 freshmen to play a big role here tonight as the Cats go for their 20th win of the season. Tip-off is at 9 o'clock, another late-night tip here in Columbia, Missouri. Lee K. Howard, WKYT.
Thank you, Lee K. And after the game, you can watch Coach John Calipari's news conference live on WKYT News at 11.